Sunday. My bunny rabbit, as you may have remembered, who's always chewing on my yoga mat and running around, hopping around when I'm doing yoga. Sadly, she passed away in my arms on Sunday evening. And she passed away 5 minutes after my boyfriend had left, and she had developed some tremors and paralysis that comes alongside echiniculi. It developed very rapidly over a week, and anyway, there were a lot of lessons in her passing. When I first got Moxie Scarlett, is her middle name, I was in a really kind of depressed, definitely anxious state. I developed anxiety before I got her. So I was not planning on, at 28 years old, 29 years old, getting a bunny rabbit. But it was one of those things where, I held her and it's when you know. So Moxie came not only during a time where I had developed anxiety, but also had severe heartbreak. And now that she is passed, I've realized that she waited until I had the love in my life and I was able to regulate my anxiety in a place of calm. I live by the beach. I have a calm, I can control my schedule. I'm managing my anxiety and I'm finally at a place, and it really took 8 years, the span of her life, to get to that place. So throughout her life, she was managing that and kind of assisting and guiding me through that journey and process of self-healing. Not only did she guide me through a place of self-healing and stuck with me the whole time, but she didn't leave until it was like she stayed until she knew that I was okay on my own. And animals are so incredible. Moxie was a super powered bunny rabbit. She could read everything in my life, whether I was on a stressful phone call and she'd be scratching. She could really pick up my anxieties and she would help me maintain it. She liked to, in this place I've been in the last 2 years, sleep under my bed, and she would always hop underneath the bed. And I could hear her jump up on the little Tupperware bins under the bed, and plastic bins, and she would stomp really, really loud when I was having a nightmare, and she'd wake me up so that I would get out of the nightmare. So when she was happy, she would just hop, and when she was having a stomach ache, I was having a stomach ache. So this bunny rabbit really meant a lot to me, and today is more of a tribute to her. There's so many, ironically, it's Ash Wednesday today, which is really crazy because I brought her little body in on Monday, and it's frozen until today. She was getting picked up to be turned into ashes. So on the Catholic holiday, the one day of the year, Ash Wednesday, is the day that Moxie is actually turning into ashes. And as you may or may not know, Ash Wednesday it's really my favorite day of observance, in really kind of holiday, but more of a day of observance in the Catholic, Catholicism, because it reminds us all that from dust we came, and to dust we will return. So from ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And I just think it's really a spectacular, incredible, ironic that Moxie is now going to be made into ashes and sent to the cremation place today on Ash Wednesday. I do have a little bit of her fur in here, and this is a rose that I've been kind of using as a tribute to her. And then this rose was laying next to her. I let Moxie smell the rose after she passed, and this rose lay next to her body. So I've got my bunny shirt on, and yeah, it's just really kind of, instead, I don't know, there's so many other things that happen, and I think, so my intention is to kind of share the purpose that animals are really messengers from God and sent to us. And I wasn't looking for a rabbit. Moxie found me when I got her. And so it's on the day that there's just so many signs that you can see in nature, and really God sends us these messengers to be with us in our life. And so I'm sure you've experienced this. If you've had a pet that has come and gone and you've lost your pet, you may understand what I mean and what I'm talking about here. But when Moxie, I was really kind of stressed out on Monday trying to figure out what I was going to do with her body. And I really didn't, it was like $6,000, $6,500 to bury her. And I'm trying to think of the best option. And so I wanted to bury her on my own. And as soon as I was like ordering this little wooden box to put her in, the vet called me because Moxie had a follow-up appointment on Tuesday, and they were calling me on Monday to confirm the appointment. Well, it was at that time that I told them she passed in my arms Sunday night. And so we get off the phone and they called me back with I had asked them, they told me about the cremation option with the vet, which was way more reasonable than any other place I had talked to. And so they called me back as, we got off the phone and I was about to order this box again. I was about to put in my credit card information from Michael's and go pick it up. And the vet called me back at that moment and said the cremation, options, and told me all about it. So it was, I always see those little like timing as signs, and things do happen very, serendipitously in life, and you just kind of have to pay attention. We were definitely guided and surrounded, my boyfriend and I, on Sunday before her passing. There was so many, we could just, signs that we kind of could tell what was happening. So we made sure to give her, take her to a nice time at the beach, take her to the beach, give her a bath. I think that obviously I'm all about yoga. This channel is all about yoga, but there are so many things, intuitively, that divinely we are so guided. And it is about paying attention to those things and the timing of what shows up and when, and listening to those signs so that you can kind of move forward. I luckily had support. I was very supported by my mom and my boyfriend, and to help me with this grieving process. Moxie was just like more than a rabbit. She was a family member. She was very special to me. She was the only body that I was like asking for when I had traveled and I was on my journey, and I was really just like feeling alone. Moxie was like the only one I was like asking for. I would call in to my mom and check up on Moxie. And anyway, if you've had a pet, you may know. If you haven't had a pet, you may not know how heavy it can feel when you lose a family member, and there's no other family member in this household but me. It was just me and Moxie before, and now it's just me. So, I think I want to, obviously offer it is important to kind of relay what was happening and what's going on right now. I can't do like a full-on yoga class today, but I do want to offer a guided meditation in lieu of Ash Wednesday, in lieu of Moxie's life. And just so we could go ahead and just kind of place our hands in prayer, bow our heads. And if there are any pets that you've had throughout the span of your life that have come and gone, I ask you to recall the signs and the symbols that you saw when they were alive, and maybe after passing, how they've shown up in your life. Really just bringing the joy to your heart that that pet has brought you. And there's so much love that can be expressed through an animal, that animals don't have to worry about all of the human stresses that we have. They literally just get to eat, sleep, excrete, and love. And that's really what life is about. And that is why it's so sweet to have an animal. And there's just so much love there that I can't even express. So on today, this beautiful Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, I believe it's February 22nd, 2023, 022223, we are definitely moving along here, and the dates keep stacking up in order of progression. And this is the last day that it's going to be like that, where it's February, so 022223. After this, everything is going to go in a lower, it's no longer, the numbers are not going to be in progression. So I also had my first dream about my boyfriend the night after Moxie passed, which is weird because we've been together for 2 years and I never dreamt about him once. It's kind of like a random fact, but I almost just feel like she waited until like I don't know, you just never know what's gonna happen in life, but I certainly wasn't ready for her to go. And so I'm definitely still in my grieving process. So I'm gonna try to move forward with my yoga videos and all the things that I normally do. But this is kind of why I haven't been filming a lot in the last week and a half. I had traveled to Tucson with her, and it was a rough ride, but we made it back, and what happened, I guess, is what needed to happen, and it was her time, although it was very short-lived. I did have her for a nice 8, almost 9 years of her life, so no one will ever replace her, but I just wanted to share what had happened and tell you that God is really always with us and you and your animal, and there's signs that you can see all the time, and just paying attention to God's timing, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a dream, whether your pet's protecting you, whether you're seeing signs after they've passed, whether you can just, people show up in your life at certain times to help support you during the process. So this is just more proof and evidence to me that God is real, God is here. However you define the divine nature and the essence of the universal source energy. So ashes to ashes, dust to dust, I will leave you with this on Ash Wednesday, sending many, many blessings up to Moxie for her life and love, and all of the love and joy, all of the love that she's brought me and joy in my life. And just hoping, just bringing peace and strength and love and condolences so that I can move on and feel this, just reverend her life, like keep this space sacred, and understanding how meaningful and important she was for me in my life, and how important love is in your life. So however it comes to you, whether it's through people, whether it's through service, acts of kindness, acts of service, we're only here for a period of time, so it's all about maximizing our lives and living them to the fullest. So that's my little kind of prayer, reverence, meditation in honor of Moxie Scarlett for you today. And I welcome any comments and feedback, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Ciao.